Hey everybody, I apologize. I dropped my damn phone. I won't do another one. I promise. If this one fails, if my internet fails out, or it goes away, or whatever, I won't do another one. All it is I'm lonely. I'm trying to take a break from critiquing and picking apart my show, which I'll do obsessively, only because I'm an entertainer, and that's what entertainers do, is they critique themselves, and they're hard on themselves. It's a big dream, you know. It's a crazy person's dream, quite honestly. It doesn't make any sense rationally. A rational person doesn't go, hey, I'm going to give everything up and I'm going to try to do something that's damn near impossible. And I'm going to risk everything to do it, you know, and put all my time and effort into it. A regular person, I don't think, does that kind of thing. But I guess I'm not a regular person. I need to do those kind of things. I have to perform. And the reason why I got into this political arena is because I got involved in politics through Bernie Sanders. And while getting involved, I friended I'm almost at 5,000 friends on Facebook. And they're all good people, and they all share quality things, and they all have quality values and goals, same as mine. So I see a lot, and I learn a lot now, more than I ever did before. And of all spectrums of that too, from truthers, I got everything. I keep a little bit of everything. I do not want an echo chamber. I keep atheists. I have flat earthers. I have hardcore Christians. I have Muslims. I have every color of the spectrum, and I'll keep everybody unless they attack me. And only then if they attack me to a point that they just get ignorant. There's no point to that, and I don't tolerate that. But if you're a troll, I'll fuck with you for a while before I get rid of you. I don't really like to block people. As I said, I don't want an echo chamber. So somebody with a polar opinion to mine is actually helpful because it keeps you in check. It makes sure that you're trying to keep you honest, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So it's good. And, today I threw out a guy, let's just call him, I'll make up a name, we'll call him Walter. And I had to block him because I'm tired of his shit. He knows everything, he won't listen to anything you say, and you're stupid and naive if you don't agree with him. And I can only tolerate that shit for so long. I mean, I tolerated this for a year and a half almost. I friended him before I started volunteering for Bernie Sanders. Hey, Kenny. Oh my God, somebody's here. I'm trying to have a wrap-up party, guys. My internet has went to shit. Nobody watched my show. I tried really hard on it, and I'm bummed out, and I'm trying not to cry, because I'm watching it and watching it and watching it. I have probably watched it 15 times. Honestly, both of them. There was 2. Because my internet got cut off. I think I talked about something I wasn't supposed to talk about, y'all. I researched it. I mean, I hope to fucking hell it's not fake news. If any of you find out that it is, please tell me, and I'll pull it from the internet. But if this story's true, another person's been killed around the Clintons. And John Podesta and Humad Abedin, and these fucking names keep coming up and coming up. And I did a story on it. And, I don't know. I'm not super worried because I'm nobody. Like I say, there's 2 people here. But I intend to be somebody. So somebody that might see that ambition and, certain topics are flagged. We all know that from Edward Snowden. It's not that far-fetched that I mentioned something I wasn't supposed to mention and got cut off. It's not. Because, you know what? I also had the other incident when I was making my news. I don't know if any of you guys remember this. I had a live feed about it. But I was making my news, and I had a Seth Rich DNC story. And every time I went to save my news, after I had to be done editing it, it was Hindsight News, and that show I actually edited. Remember, it had video clips, and it was real fancy looking towards the end. But I had to pull it because it was taking up too much of my time. And the Yankee show has news, too. Even though it's kind of silly at times, it's got a lot of serious stories as well, like the one I'm talking about. So I told this story about this reporter. I'm not even going to attempt her name right now. Because like I said, I've been bumming. Because I've been watching every one of them over and over again. Because I do that. I critique myself. When I did stand-up, I would always record my performances so I could hear them later. I always wanted to hear. I worry very much about timing. I'm a professional performer. So now that I'm taking this on full head on, full strength, you will get a professional product. Because that's all I know how to do. So I was a professional comedian. I am now a professional journalist, activist, comedian. So Yankee Show's a comedy news show. So Hindsight News was redundant. But this particular Hindsight News had a Seth Rich DNC story. I hope I didn't babble on and babble on. Like I said, I'm just chilling with you guys so that I can stop watching the fucking thing. I've watched it 50 times almost now. And there's 2 parts. And I mean, I've answered comments over and over again. I've commented on it. I've shared it to almost 10 groups. And I just think it's being blocked. I don't imagine how I could be that low on views for something that was of that quality. If you watched it and think that it was garbage, or if you thought the music was too loud and maybe it ran people off, maybe it was garbage. But I've watched it like 15 times and I'm so proud of it. I think it's one of the best things I've ever done, and it makes me think I have a future in this. So I don't understand why it's not popular at all. No one really likes it or is interacting with it, and I've been watching it over and over again, and I can't stop. So I'm doing these live feeds. These are for me, and I hope they don't suck. I'm trying to be interesting. I'm trying not to have dead air. But I'm kind of upset a little bit, you know. I mean, I did that show, and I cannot tell you how much effort and research I put into that show. I am not a bullshit artist. If I get on here and I tell you something, I've looked into it. I've verified it at least fucking twice. That Clinton news story that I made tonight, I verified everything in that story. That every time I found it. And the unfortunate part is I only found it on non-really reputable sites. No mainstream at all is talking about it. But when you back up all the names, and these people all work for those places, and they do those jobs, and this woman was that kind of investigative reporter, it's not that far-fetched that she actually did have this assignment. And as far as the statement from her colleague goes that I read on the show, who the fuck knows? You know, this person checks out, this person exists, this person has that type of a job at a place like that. You know, one of those fringe truth websites. Now, that's who this reporter was too, a fringe truth website reporter. These are not big time folks. But this other lady, her colleague, says that all this, it's true. She wouldn't have been in that part of town. It's all weird. Nothing makes sense about it. And she was doing this investigation. And she goes on to mention that she had called in sources, was checking sources, doing a reporter's job. So trying to get things, asking certain agencies for declassified documents. And then also requesting things from, all kinds of groups. Every alphabet group you can think of, but the names that caught my attention in every article I read about it was John Podesta and Huma Abedin. Now, as soon as she made that call, I think she signed her death warrant. I'm being serious, y'all. And if this is all true, and if it's real, and if it's not, somebody tell me, and I will take it off the internet, because I'm not that dude. I am not fucking Alex Jones. I am not trying to cause an uproar over something that's not true. So if somebody verifies that this woman wasn't really killed, and I think her name was Lindsay Kelsey, and if my research is flawed, you tell me, and I'm going to pull this stuff. Because I'm not a bullshit artist. I did research this. Am I still here, guys? It keeps trying to end the damn feed. It's pissing me off, quite frankly. I called my service provider, and they say there's nothing wrong with my internet right now, but it is just shit, and it drops everything. I can't load Facebook on my laptop still, which is why I haven't added tags for my promotion to anything yet on my videos, even though I've watched them so many times. It's like I'm in Facebook jail, and I don't know what that's like because I've never been in Facebook jail. But my interactions are very limited right now. I didn't get any kind of notification. But my computer's acting wonky, and I'm having to do everything on the phone. And I don't understand. And I even had to log into my wife's account to do some of it, just to be able to look at stuff and keep watching it because my account would freeze up. It's just, I don't know what happened. But yeah, it's Facebook. Broadcast interrupted, Paul says. Kenny says it's Facebook. Checks out. That's 2 sources. I'm going with it because I agree with both of you. But you know what? It confuses me because, guys, if there are times in that feed, and you know what? I read the first part. So when I'm doing the news, I'm reading that off of a screen. I open Microsoft Word, and I've already written it. So that whole first part, all the way until I tell you I'm talking to you guys now, I'm reading it. I can't see what you're doing. I can't see what's going on the screen. Now, it's been brought to my attention that appears rude. So I am planning a way to figure out how to read my script and interact at the same time. I feel like that would be distracting to me, though, because, and I'm going to tell you why, and I don't mean this to sound wrong, it's just during that moment I'm performing. It's kind of like you wouldn't ask Jimmy Dore to do that during his monologue, and that's who I'm trying to be. I may not be that now, but when you do something like what I do, you have to believe in yourself to a level that almost seems crazy to people. So I already am pretending that I'm the person I want to be. And I will do everything as that person until I become that person. And that's the only way. If you listen to any successful person like an Arnold Schwarzenegger or almost anyone, but definitely Arnold Schwarzenegger. I watch a lot of motivational videos. in order to keep my spirits up sometimes. Because you get trolls and private messages and people telling you shit about how you're a paranoid schizophrenic and you're stupid and how stupid you are and you're a dumbass and blah blah. You hear that so many times. If you're like me, and I'm bipolar and I deal with severe depression and PTSD. So if you're like me, those kind of talk, no matter how thick-skinned you are, and I am thick-skinned. I'm a stand-up comic. I mean, I hang out with, you know, bar-type people and comedians all the time, and we hang out after shows and tear each other new assholes on a regular basis. I have a very thick skin, but things also get to you. No matter how tough you are, they get to you, and you hear something over and over again, and somebody keeps telling you you're stupid, no matter how polite you are. You know, I can post an article on my Facebook page about chemtrails. No matter how convincing the article or picture is, people will treat me like I am retarded because I posted something about chemtrails. And honestly, look at them. If you don't believe me, go to my page and look at it and post about chemtrails. I always ask it as a question, and I'm never disrespectful. Not until you're mean to me. After you're mean to me, I'll tear you to shreds for a little while until I realize you're not listening and you're only waiting for your turn to talk, and then I'll block you. I've had times, though, when we're doing that and we've ended up being friends because I don't block a troll right away. I play with a troll for a while. It pisses me off that you would even want to come and troll my page. You expect me to scroll past your shit. I can't tell you how many times I'm triggered and I say something on somebody's page. And if I'm making a good debate and they're getting tripped up and frustrated, and they go to the personal level, which you can always tell when somebody is frustrated or lost a debate or has been triggered and their cognitive dissonance has kicked in, they'll get personal, no matter what, every time. And once that happens, they're not even fucking listening to you anymore. They're only reading and skimming through what your comment back is anyway to be able to make a formed response back that gives the appearance that they read it. They're not reading it. They don't give a fuck. They're only waiting for their turn to talk. You know, you've pissed them off now. You've closed off their mind. So it's over now. Kenny says it's happening to other people too. Kenny, at this level though, isn't that really super weird? Because Kenny, look, there's 3 people here, man. I mean, I know you're a girl. I call everyone man. Ask my wife. Everyone. I say dude and man. I still do, and I'm 41 years old. I mean nothing by it. Yeah, Paul says dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you guys the truth. I push like a bastard on this because it's all I want to do right now. I started doing this so that I could write jokes again, and I had to incorporate those jokes into being political, so I had to become a different kind of comic because I wasn't that kind of comic. So now I can write jokes again because I can be that kind of comic. But that evolved into me. And I don't want to... Why I'm on the road. Why don't I do activism? And then when I'm in these places, if I just happen to be working in a place, I can do things while I'm there. And that would be good. So do both. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'm like, why don't you do journalism while you're doing that? I think like that. Things just keep ballooning for me. And honestly, it's probably because I've never reached the level I want to in comedy. And no matter how I love it, that breaks your heart after a while. I pushed away at it and pushed away at it for years, probably 12 years. 12 years I've been doing comedy, and I've never broken through the second level. I do, you know, small road gigs at little one-nighters and, you know, 1-2 shows a week and, you know, local things, host open mics, little things. And sometimes I'm middle, sometimes I get to middle, but those guys even don't make very much money. An opener, when you go to a comedy club, and keep this in mind, the opening guy, usually the host, the guy that introduces each guy, unless he's famous, unless you know his name, he probably makes about $100 to $150 a show. And that's if it's a good club. That's if you're at an expensive club. If you're at a shitty club, it could be as low as $50 per show. And that was actually quite common. So $50 per show, that guy's sleeping in his car. The middle guy, that guy averages $150. His ballpark is from $150 to $600, depending on how big of a name he is. Now, to get past the 300 mark even, you got to be a big fucking name. I mean, Screech level name. And I've worked with Screech. So that's the level I was at. I worked with people like Screech. The biggest name I ever got to even work a show with, and I only got to do one night, and it was only because the middle guy, for some reason, had to back out, was Damon Wayans. Oh my God, I'll never forget that in life. But Damon Wayans and Screech are the biggest 2 names I ever got to even get near, and Damon Wayans never spoke to me. So, but I never got to the level I wanted to in comedy. So I think when I fell in love with this, and I fell in love with this very quickly, I think it just became my new passion. And I don't... comedy's not... I'm not going to stop doing comedy by any means, but I think incorporated into this. So that means I'm 100% into this. Now I've incorporated, my dreams are incorporated now, and my whole body is fully on board with this. And it breaks my heart how slowly it's getting off the ground, but I try to remind myself that that's normal. That I try to remind myself, dude, how long have you been doing this? See, that's where the OCD comes in, and the obsessive drive. It's hard to be doing something in a live atmosphere and not be impatient with it. When you put as much effort as I do into this shit, and I'm not kidding you, I put 2 solid worth of effort into the news, or in the news show I did tonight. And when you do that, and you write, and you really nitpick, and you edit and edit and edit, and research, and you put that much work into something, you fall in love with it, and by the time you put it out there for the world, it breaks your heart when it's not catching on. But I know that it will. It's both things. I have both voices in my head. There's that voice that's like, dude, shut up. We're totally going to do this. Some things take time. It could take 5 years. I don't give a shit. I love it. I'm still going to do it. I like it right now, and I hardly make any money at all doing it. I've probably made $30, and these people, I don't know if you heard any of that, but people that got me the CPAP machine for my sleep apnea from after listening to a show when I was talking about, I only just mentioned it. I didn't go, hey guys, buy me a CPAP machine. I just mentioned I have sleep apnea, and I don't even remember how it came up. And these people got together, and one of them had 3 CPAP machines, and then the woman agreed to pay for the shipping. And I now have it, and I'm going to use it tonight. And I'm so excited, and I feel like I'm now because my hero, one of my heroes in writing, is Stephen King, and his definition of how you become a professional is you do something you love, and you get paid to do it, and you pay a bill with that money. You're a professional, no matter if that bill was just the electric bill, no matter what. You're a professional now from that point on. Now, I didn't buy this CPAP machine, but I earned it doing what I love, my new passion. So I feel like I got that. I made that impression on those people and made them want to do that. And even met those people because of this. Everything about me getting that machine has to do with this change in my life. If I hadn't started doing this, I'd have never met those people, never heard me say what I said, and I wouldn't be getting to try this machine tonight and maybe, not die in my sleep. Sleep apnea is scary. I know it scares my wife, so I'm excited to use it. And I'm gonna wrap it up, guys, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going right back over there to watch these shows some more and see if they've caught on or picked up any views. I honestly think they're being suppressed, to be totally honest with you. Anyways, thanks for hanging out, Paul and Kenny, and I really appreciate it. And thanks for all your support too. You guys have been awesome. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for hanging out.